Hey guys, what's going on? Good morning to you, good evening to you. Well, it's morning for me today. Man, it's a beautiful day out today. Look at that. It is beautiful. I'm still on the beach. As you can see, there's the beach right behind me there. People are starting to gather up. Right, beautiful, man. Gorgeous. Hope you're doing awesome today. I love living life. I love waking up in the morning, just kind of watching the day unfold, and it's just a cool thing, man. It's a Monday morning, I think. Yeah, I think it's Monday. Pretty sure it is. The cool thing about what we're doing and what I'm doing is, I don't get to keep track of the days. A lot of times I'm just confused, what day of the week it is. If it's Sunday, is it Monday, is it Tuesday, is it Saturday, what day of the week it is, just because, I don't have to punch in the time card or whatever that thing is called, right, when you have to go to work. And I hadn't worked for anybody since I was 20 years old. But today I just, I wanted to talk to you as I do daily, right, guys? And bring you one tip, give you one nugget, something that can, hopefully make you think a little bit different, maybe shift your business direction a little bit different, maybe help you just take your stuff to the next level, right? And so the only thing I can share with you, my friend, the only thing I can share with you is from my personal experience. Okay, I'm not the kind of guy who's gonna talk to you theory, right? I don't like to talk theory just because I don't think theory works unless it's proven, right? And so what I like to, if I talk about anything, right? If I talk about any ideas, if I talk about any, if I give you any tips, any pointers, anything, whatever I'm giving you in these videos, right? Folks, I have experienced it. Okay, I lived it, and it's either helped me or it didn't. And if it didn't, I'm gonna let you know, right? And if it did, I'll let you know as well. So today I want to talk to you about this thing called knowing your worth. All right, how much are you worth? And I will hear this over and over and over again. A lot of people say, hey, how much are you worth, and this and that. But I wanted to break it down for you, really to the simplest terms possible, and just kind of break it down to the ridiculous, if you will. And help you figure your number out, okay? Because I think once you know your number, I think your business can shift big time. Okay, I think you can have just tremendous improvements, and I think you can have big major shifts and major breakthroughs in your business. Okay, when you understand, how to calculate this number, how to calculate, what you're worth. And so there was an event in Denver, Empower Network event, around 6,000 people or so attended, and I was up on stage and I shared this idea with everybody, and a lot of people got it, but some people still came to me. They're like, Vic, can you go over that again? Can you go over that again? Can you help me understand what my number is? Okay, and so this is a concept. I can't take any credit for it because I learned it from a guy named Dan Kennedy. Right, great individual, great marketer, very smart dude. If you have a chance to follow him, do that, right? But so this is where I learned it from, and I learned it a while back, so I'm gonna share it with you. Okay, so here's what you do. You figure out how much your productive hour is worth. Okay, so let me explain that to you, how that works, and I think it's going to really help you in your business. Okay, so a lot of times, we as marketers, we don't know, right? We have no idea how much our hour is worth. Okay, just because we work for ourselves, we don't have a boss to report to, and we don't know how much our working hour is worth. All right. Now, what's really crazy is that I read a statistic somewhere, and they basically surveyed a lot of the top executives, okay, CEOs of the companies and things like that, and it turns out that every CEO of a company, what their productive, how much productive time they actually put in during the day? It was like 20 minutes. 20 minutes of actual productive time during the day. All right, and it's just ridiculous. It's just absolutely crazy. Okay, so when we think that, let's say if you think that you're working 8 hours a day, right, or 10 hours a day, or I talk to some people, they say I'm working 16, 17 hours a day, right? I'm gonna challenge you on your productivity, right? Because I think if somebody would work 15 hours or heck even 8 hours a day and be just laser focused productive, right, man, you can be a billionaire. You know that? You can be a billionaire if you actually worked and focused on being productive for 8 hours a day. Okay, so let me suggest you something. Okay, here's what I think is really important. Okay, and here is where the rubber is going to meet the road. Okay, so we have our productive hours and we have our productivity hours, right? And we have our hours that we're just not productive. For example, checking your Facebooks, right, is not productive. Okay, whatever, you know, refreshing your statistics on your sales and things like that, it's not productive. Okay, we think that we're working, you know, answering your emails, it's not productive. Okay, what I mean by productive is I'm talking about income producing activities. Okay, so what are the income producing activities in your business? So you have to figure that one out first. Okay, if you're a marketer like myself, well, our income producing activities is what? We have to get people to see our website, period. All right, you know what else is income producing for you? Is your personal development. All right, is the time that you spend on developing and improving yourself is your personal development, and that's your income producing activity as well, because your income will never you will never out earn yourself. All right, so you will never out earn your self image. So that's very important as well. So you got to figure that out. You know, what are your income producing activities? Now, next step is this: you have got to figure out and just kind of, you know, set it in stone and say, okay, so these are going to be my productive hours, okay, during the day. And you know, I don't want you to shoot like and say I'm gonna work 10 hours a day of actual productive time. You won't. All right, it's not sustainable. Okay, but if you agree to yourself and you say, listen, I'm going to work 3 hours per day, let's say 5 hours per day. Okay, I'm gonna work, let's say if you're full-time in this thing and you say I'm gonna work 5 hours per day, and these are going to be my productivity hours, right? I'm not going to focus on any of the junk that's out there. I'm not going to, during these 5 hours, I'm not going to check my Facebook. I'm not going to check my email. I'm going to be focusing on improving myself, maybe an hour, right? I'm going to be focusing the rest of the time on building my business, getting, you know, traffic to my site, converting people, just income producing activities. Boom, 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 right? And nothing else matters. Like, you put these blinders on, nothing else matters. No phone calls, no distractions, nothing, right? 5 hours per day. So here's what you do. You figure out how much money you want to earn per month. Okay, so and then what you do is you break that down based on the productive hour that you have agreed to yourself that you will put into your business. Okay, so I'll give you an example here for my example, and you know, it's useful to have this little thing called color accumulator. Right, so guys, here's I can walk you through my personal example, and you can, you know, you can kind of play with these numbers for yourself. Okay, so here's what I would do. I'm gonna say, listen, Vic, we're gonna be working 5 hours per day and nothing else matters. There's gonna be no distractions, right? And it's gonna be laser focused time. Now, of course, I work a little bit more than 5 hours per day just because I don't, you know, I mean, work to me is just part of life. I mean, I work all the time, right? But not all of those hours are actual, you know, income producing activity hours. Does that make sense? So I say, okay, so I'm gonna work 5 hours per day of actual income producing activities. Okay, that will generate you know, in revenue, that will result in revenue for me, rather. Okay, so then here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say I'm gonna do this 5 hours per day, okay, times 5 days per week, okay, because I don't want to work on Saturdays and Sundays, right? So that would be 25 hours per week of actual productive hours. All right, and then I'm gonna say I'm just gonna, you know, I'm just gonna be conservative. I'm gonna say that I'll work for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. Okay, that would be like 100 hours per month. Okay, so 100 hours per month. Now I realize that some months are going to be like 110 hours, 115 hours, right? Depends on how many days. But I want to be very conservative, right? So I'm going to say it's going to come down to 100 hours per month. Okay, so my personal income goal is $1 million a month. Okay, so I'm going to take $1 million a month divided by 100 hours of actual productive income producing activity hours that I'm going to put in, right? Make sense? And so we're going to take, you know, your income goal. In my example, it's $1 million per month, right? Divided by your productive hours that you have agreed that you're going to put in, right? That comes down to $10,000 per hour. Okay, $10,000 per hour. Now, here is where the magic comes in, my friend. Whatever that number is for you. Let's say if you're, well, let's just do one more again here real quick, okay? So let's say if your goal is to earn $20,000, okay? $20,000 per month. And you know, and you're gonna work, let's say if you're gonna only work 3 hours per day, all right, 3 hours per day times 5 days per week, that's 15 hours per week, right, times 4 weeks, that's 60 hours per month. Okay, let's say if your goal is to earn $20,000 a month, and you have agreed that you're gonna put in what is it, 60 hours, all right, 60 hours, your number is $333 per hour, okay, of actual productive work. And I'm getting a little sweaty here. It's really humid here in Miami. So that number, my friend, is your magic number. Okay, now every single hour that you have agreed, let's say if you set your schedule and you say I'm gonna work from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. okay, or I'm gonna work from 6 a.m. to whatever, right, to 10 p.m. or to 10 a.m. or something like that, right, and these are your actual income producing activity hours, my friend, know your number. All right, if I know that my number is $10,000 per hour, right, well, during those hours of my productive hours, right, you always ask yourself, is what I'm doing right now worth at least $10,000? Is what I'm doing right now worth at least $333? If if your goal is $20,000 a month, okay, is what I'm doing right now worth at least whatever your number is? Does that make sense? And so I think when you approach it from that angle, you know, like for me, I know that my productive hour is worth $10,000, okay, personal productivity, right, to reach my personal goal. And so if I know that, you know, if I work from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. of actual, you know, focusing on income producing activities, and this is my work time, right, and 10 a.m. let's say, or 11 a.m. I do a self-check, right, and I ask myself, is what I'm doing right now worth at least $10,000? And if I find myself, you know, checking Facebooks and stuff like that, right, well, it's not. Okay, if I find myself, you know, checking emails or replying to emails or personal stuff, it's not productive. Okay, so you always know your number and you kind of reference it back. Does that make sense? And it's gonna help you keep on track, because if you want to reach your goal, you gotta know your numbers down to the T, right? And you gotta be, you know, you just have to be disciplined enough to follow through. Okay, so I hope that this little tip, this little exercise, when you run it for yourself, you will come up with your own number, and I hope that this, you know, it's gonna help you at least take a look at your productivity, take a look at your time that you are, you know, spending on your business, or on, you know, or you know, spending on growing your business. You can look at that maybe from a little bit different direction, and it's gonna help you. It's gonna help you kind of maybe push yourself a little bit more, or whatever, right? But again, figure out what your income goal is, all right? Figure out how much time of actual productive time you're gonna put in. During that time, you don't focus on anything else but income producing activities, right? And then find out your magic number per hour. My friend, I hope this helps you. Let me know what you think about this below in the comments. You know, feel free to share it with your friends, Facebook followers, whatever, right? I'm just doing these videos, guys, just to, again, share some tips and share some ideas that worked for me, that made a difference for me personally. And I hope that this, you know, this helps you in your business as well. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you tomorrow.